I will. Okay. If you need.
Yeah, that's
Okay, you guys are headed to the library.
yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Tertan, you head over to the blacksmith. As you enter, you see the same scene, and you actually notice Reed's armor is on sort of a prep table with an elf standing over it, looking over it cautiously. He seems to not notice as you enter, but one of the apprentices does and calls his attention, and he turns and addresses you. What business do you have, good sir?
So tell me, is there a large naked man running around the city right now?
I don't
Wait, what?
follow.
You currently have my friend's armor.
Oh, yes, the short human. Yes, he brought this by. He needed it repaired. I believe he went to the general store or to the alchemist. I gave him directions to.
Is streaking allowed?
Tertan, you do realize that people wear clothing under armor.
I don't think you own any.
Reed does.
Well,
Probably owns more
news to
clothing
me.
than you.
Probably, but news to me. I didn't know you owned any clothing, so I'm just saying that out right now.
He's being prepared.
You can see the jerkin he wears beneath his damn chainmail. Have you
Dude, I'm
had
short.
chainmail on skin? That stuff chafes. Not
Dude,
that new
I'm short.
micromail stuff. That micromail stuff's amazing, but
My nipples. So okay, what he answers, no, streaking is frowned upon usually, but if you're referring to your friend being naked, no, he has clothes. He had clothes on underneath.
Didn't take the type to actually wear clothing outside of that suit of metal. Anyway, I am in need of something. I'm pretty sure you might not actually have it. Ignore that ping. I have.
Master Halfling, what ping? I don't understand what you mean by ping.
I have realized in the last week or so of my life that danger has decided to take a hold and is now at my side at almost every second. And because of that, I require something better than these simple leathers that I wear. And I pull on them and to let the small bit of elasticity in them show before they basically snap back. And so in doing so, I've decided that I need an upgrade.
For your leather armor, sir?
Yes.
Well, the material I work with, I can do studded leather armor. Unfortunately, all the leather I have is being used for other pieces, so I could possibly take your current armor and modify it, but that could take several days, backed up a little bit by orders from the keep. But could I interest you in some chainmail? I've got several fine pieces of chainmail, or a chain shirt, or perhaps. And he sort of dubiously points to a piece of half plate. Would you be interested?
While I would be interested, I'm also fairly poor.
Oh, well, what's your budget then, sir?
Considering costs of needing to both eat and otherwise have enough money to get me out of this place, probably around 200 gold, give or take.
I see. Well, I'd be able to sell you a chain shirt.
I've already got a shirt, and I'd rather not wear chains around me.
I see. Well, I could modify your leather armor for because you're supplying the leather, and he seems to be doing a quick calculation and said, probably 35 gold pieces.
That would suffice.
Now, be advised, this will take several days.
Do you happen to have a second set of leather armor that might fit my stature?
Unfortunately, the guard has taken all of my leather armor, and all my other leather stock is being used for other items. My apologies, master.
They have a halfling there that works in the guard. That's surprising.
And he sort of shrugs. He says, I usually would cut down a normal-sized piece of leather armor for one of your size. We don't see too many halfling.
Well, it's a shame. You know what? I'm pretty sure we'll be probably leaving soon. I cannot take up on that after. Thank you for your attempt in assisting me, though.
Oh, you're welcome. If I may venture a question, good sir.
Yes.
Do you happen to know two elves? One a doe-eyed looking druid, I would guess, and the other a wide range, a naive looking ranger who is quite new to the city.
Oh, you mean the dirty knife he is? Yes.
And he sort of, his eyes go wide.
Let's remember
and
that the blacksmith is an elf.
Half reaches to his own ears and sort of, oh, never mind. Good sir. I bid you good day.
Oh, you mistake me. They literally carry knives behind them.
He stops as he was turning away. He stops halfway and slowly turns towards you with a quizzical look. And
it's a very long story that I would be willing to tell you, but I really don't have the time. Let's just say that they don't come from cities, and they have very strange customs. I'm pretty sure I saw the druid try to take a bath in the sewers once.
Hey!
God, that was disgusting.
He sort of cracks half a smile and says, "Be that as it may, I understand that those two youngins are strapped for cash, almost like yourself, and you said that this friend of yours this is his armor. It seems that you are all quite capable of taking care of yourself, you might say."
I would hope so at this point, or else I would wonder the powers of the denizens that decide to prey on the weak.
Sure. Well,
did you know there are giants in the nearby hills that apparently don't want to go after jerky?
Yeah, I do know that there are several giant clans to the south in the woods there that tend to make trouble for the locals every once in a while. But I would proposition you to perhaps carry out a small favor for me, and after which I would be more than happy to discount my wares and provide you a nominal fee.
You have my attention.
Well, you see, the last shipment of my leather that I'm strapped for was due from Bjornstag quite a while ago, several days now, and I have not heard any news from it on the road. And I was hoping perhaps to hire your crew to go and investigate, see if you could track it down for me. I've already paid in advance for this leather, and I need it quite badly.
Tell me quick, did you have any guards posted with the caravan? Or was it just a simple traveling group?
I would assume that they'd have guards. It's a good contact of mine, a good friend that I've dealt with several times in the past. He's located in Bjornstag. He gets the leathers from the hunter there. Fern is his name, and I would assume he'd post the standard 4 guardsmen in a simple wagon train. He brings several items up. He sells it to several members of the merchants here.
A hunter named Fern.
Yes, sir.
They write better stories in kindergarten. Anyway, be that as it may, I can see what I can do to convince the rest of my party, including the 2 others. But be that as it may, I don't know if they'll be willing, as we already have a long list of other pressing matters that we, at this point, need to attend to. I give no promises, but we try.
Let me know in the next few days. Preferably by tomorrow. I was going to hire a mercenary group to go track it down. I'm in dire need of this leather for orders from the keep.
Be careful who you hire.
Why? What do you mean, sir?
recent events in the nearby, inside the town, actually, have led me to believe that that any type of mercenaries that are nearby are not keen on helping Edrithian citizens.
Oh, you're talking about that business last night?
The business on that night and the business the night before on the road.
I see. Well, thank you for the warning, sir. I will handle it if you cannot. So please let me know.
That I will. Thank you. And
Thank you. Good day.
Take off.
Okay. All right, now what are you getting at the alchemist?
Well, not as much getting goods as information. Reed still got those 2 unidentified potions, and better to figure out what the hell they are before drinking them. Drinking a potion of, like, firewall that you're supposed to throw is probably a bad idea.
These are the ones you got from Irden, right?
Yeah. Yeah, a while ago.
And did I have a description for those?
That's a very good question. Because all I have is just unidentified potion.
Sure.
Not that I recall.
Let me see if I can track it down.
In our treasure, it's not in our treasure loots anymore, so.
All right. Okay. Yes, I believe they looked similar. From what I'm reading here, they looked similar. They were blue with some sort of sparkly diamond-looking bubbles in them.
Diamond bubble?
Okay, you get diamond bubbles, magic potions. They can do whatever they want. You approach Bjornmund, who is a bald, old, stooped man, but he has a beard about down to his waist. And he sees you approach. His shop is really no more than sort of a hand cart with a hand cart stall type thing with sort of an awning and some wares, some small bottles in them. He sees you approach and he gives you sort of a weak smile and greets you and asks what you need.
So Reed will greet him because, Reed, polite person, thing like that. And he reaches into, I guess, pouch, something. I know he has a backpack of some sort. Container. And from the container pulls those 2 potions. Blue, diamondy, wonderful. And brings forth, says, I had recently picked up these potions as spoils of war. And would like to figure out what they do before using them. Would you be able to help me with that?
Oh, interesting. Yes. Though my services come at a cost.
Naturally. What would that cost be?
Because these are 2 of what look to be the same, I will only charge you half for the second. So 7 gold pieces and 5 silver pieces.
Oh, I'm sure we can do that. Yes, if you would please.
And he holds out his hand and gets your money and looks it over. He looks very closely at the bottles, looks at the pattern of the bubbles and shakes it and looks again and unstoppers it and sniffs it. And then he pours out just the smallest little dab onto his finger and sort of tentatively tastes it and then has sort of he nods and has a satisfied smile and he stoppers it back up and hands it to you and says, "Those are potions of Misty Step. One full potion will give you 3 uses of Misty Step within the next 10 minutes.
Both of them.
That is lovely. Not what Reed says. Reed's not going to say that. The player says that because potion of free Misty Steps. Reed at most gets 1 of those. I now have 7. Okay, anyways. Reed nods his appreciation, then kind of glances over and says, out of curiosity, what services do you normally provide around here?
Oh, I have quite the selection of potions, tinctures, poisons, and acids if you are into those sort of things.
I might. I'm sort of restocking, as it were, between adventures, and I don't know what I'm going to need next. I'm trying to get a general layout of the area and who provides what. Say I were to need something like, say, a potion of healing. What would I be looking at?
Oh, you'd look at one of these, and he grabs one that's, a deep ruby red color. Says, these babies, they go for 50 gold pieces.
And Reed slowly nods in understanding as he puts away the other two potions, and then says, okay. Well, now that I know you're here, I may be seeing you again. Thank you so much for your assistance.
Oh, you're welcome, good sir. Thank you. And bids you good day.
And off goes Reed, because I remember there's one more thing he has to do.
Okay. As you're headed back to the inn, you notice Tratan coming back, and Tratan, as you're heading back, you see the two elves leaving the inn, heading towards the library. So you all sort of are within 30, 40, 50 feet of each other in the middle of the roadway.
Oh, you do have clothes.
At this, Reed looks down, then looks up, and then says, typically I do. Sometimes I'm wondering if you do.
No, this is
Tratan,
actually my skin.
Did you leave your leather armor there?
I did not. I brought it with me.
Okay.
There was no transaction that happened there. Just sadness.
Okay. Just making sure.
Sad.
So before we all begin to go on our separate ways again, and we back at the inn at later tonight with almost nothing under our belts, I would like to discuss where we'd like to go. Wow.
I'm testing to see if it works.
No, it doesn't work that way. It's messing up because it's auto-creating.
Yeah, I gotta come mess with that.
I would like to take the time to discuss with you all the rest of our next move. Bear in mind, Zixo is having issues, so we'll leave him out of it.
Yeah, Zixo
but let's just say he's taken aback with the news of Atrix leaving. So he's like meditating something.
He's taking it the worst of all of us. Anyway. So, I know for a fact that we are getting a couple of things that are stacking up on our plate. I consider us more or less a part of a group now, since we've been traveling together for more than it feels like 2 weeks. It's sort of a strange idea, I understand. Anyway. We have a crossroads here. I know we wanted that there was an issue with your family, Reed. Or at least you thought was an issue.
And Reed nods slowly and says, yes. They have told me there's an issue. It's not something that I'm guessing at.
But they actually sent an issue? Okay, never mind. Alright, with that in mind...
Long time ago. Been a while.
It's only been about a week.
For us, it's been a long time.
For us, yeah, it's been 4 months.
Where is it that you hail from? Where is your family?
And Reed kind of points out the major thoroughfare to the big capital that everybody knows about.
That figures.
Yes, Edrithia.
So it wouldn't be an awful trip to take.
Typically not. The city tends to be a wonderful place to enjoy a few days. Or your entire childhood.
I'll take your word for it. Anyway, with that in mind, I assume you want to go and check with with your family. At least, now that we have done our duty, I do air quotes at that point, and deliver the message. Unless, of course, you want to go on that suicidal thought train you had and actually try to help out Mirkov at this point.
There's this look of conflict on Reed's face as you bring that up.
I imagine the meme with the 2 buttons and the guy who's sweating.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
Go talk to my family. Stop a horde from destroying a city. Which one's worse?
Well, go talk
And then
to my
Zixo
family.
comes
in
up and
trouble.
goes, "Wait, this button, doggo." Reed kind of just nods and says, "I do have a feeling that I should go home. I should see them. The downside is it's the exact wrong direction."
Exact wrong direction.
Altamore Cove is that way. My family is that way.
That's why I asked if you would rather go and see them, or...
Hockey, generally, how long would a, let's say, pigeon mail take from Falstad to Edrithia and back?
Pigeon mail?
Yep.
Let me look up historical mileage for pigeons.
Because I remember we did it from Altmore Cove, but he can get it for forever because we were off doing things.
Right.
I want to say it was within a day, but I can't, like, that they actually received it, but I can't remember.
Well, remember that the mayor of the other city also sent a shitload of pigeons like every day, apparently, to the snobby guy here.
That is also
Just
true.
There's just a bunch of dead pigeons outside the fucking town square.
Where did all these pigeons come from?
Well, they're able to go fast. I just don't know how long they're able to go.
Let's see. Pigeon Post.
Let's. 400 miles. Let's see. Quickly doing some table math here. Let's see. What did I figure this was?
Pigeons can
1x
fly at
12
average speeds up to
miles.
77 miles per hour. Pigeons can fly between 600 and 700 miles in a single day.
How far?
Whoa, what the fuck?
600 to 700 miles.
Dang,
Crazy.
dude.
According to the
One,
Pigeon Control Resource Center.org.
Jim
With the
Control.
longest recorded flight in the 19th century taking 55 days to an African England covering 7,000 miles. But I naturally don't think we have to go that far.
What?
But it's saying between 77 and 92 miles an hour, so that should tell you something.
Oh, see, and this one's saying average flying speed is 50 miles an hour
Well,
with
but
an average distance of 400 miles.
We're talking about... oh my god, I cannot believe I'm going to have to say this. We're talking
Magical
the difference
pigeons.
between a laden and unladen pigeon here.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to DM rule it that it could reach Edrithia by the end of the day. We'll just easily say it is half a day distance.
Okay, so naturally knowing that Reed is one of those savvy people who, this is probably nothing new to his family, thinks for a minute and says, I could send a letter to them to see how urgently I'm needed back. And my armor's still going to take about a day to finish. So I'd probably be staying here anyways. And then Reed nods to himself and says, "Okay, well, let me see if I can find a place to send off Pigeon Post and make that decision."
All right. With that in mind, I recently went over to the blacksmith. Of course, seeing as my general well-being has been threatened many times over the last couple of days by all sorts of manners. And it turns out that after meeting many of you, this time he's glancing in at the two elves next to the entrance to the tavern, that apparently he's in need of some help. shipment of leather got lost on its travels from Bjornstag over here to Falstad.
Did he say? Oh, okay. Which
And-
direction is that again?
And at that sound, Reed kind of looks over and says, "Is that so? I just talked to a shopkeep saying there were rumors of undead and other nasties from that direction."
There's rumors of undead and other nasties all over.
Yes, but he
Yeah.
specifically mentioned Bjornstag as part of it.
I think I might have got my fucking stuff mixed up when I heard you mention Bjornstag hockey.
Your mission was to Bjornstag, yeah.
Okay. Making sure. Because I was like, but then, if they're dead, then... Huh.
But Netherhill was the one that was rumored to be overrun.
Yeah,
That's the one.
Did the person that Reed was talking to mention that Bjornstag was also having issues?
Yes, to the south, Bjornstag, and even further
Ah, okay.
to Netherhill down there across the river.
Gotcha.
I like how you've put little or little...
Those are your battles. Those are your conquests.
Couldn't that be a destroyed bridge?
It should. I didn't have a icon for destroyed bridge, but
Put a piece of like green paint in between the two.
like a lightning bolt. I can try and find a lightning bolt.
Yeah, lightning bolt.
Actually, Reed's gonna look thoughtful. He's gonna turn to Kai, whose Discord is naturally acting up exactly when I have to talk to him.
You're
He's gonna turn to
Yeah,
Kai.
I'm here.
Say, Kai, I know you tend to know
Yep.
the areas. Do you know of any other major path that we could go to Altamore Cove from here, with the bridge now destroyed?
So you can take the path from the jungle
it's more like a forest.
that we saw. From this jungle to Bjornstag, then we could go to Ultima Cove. Maybe I can guide you. Hello.
That
I just
may
realized
may
something.
decide my next my next target location for itself. If we can't get to Altamore Cove easily from here, we might as well go to Edrithia, because going through the forest or trying to bypass that bridge will probably take days anyways.
I just realized something that could be very, very bad. Did you mention the fact that Netherhill had been more or less destroyed? Reed, can I?
Reed had not mentioned Netherhill at all. He specifically mentioned
Okay.
Bjornstag.
Never mind. I'm not going to talk about it.
So I'm still gonna send off that letter, but if our intention is to head south, we may need to go the long way around.
Yep, maybe.
Can we cross? Is that a
This is
forest or
pretty
can we
Well,
cross that?
Yeah,
Here's another thing. We could simply cross at the other bridge. There's got to be more than one bridge if there's two roads leading to Falstad. And simply cross that bridge and take the small way down across, following the river down to the other one.
Probably wouldn't work well because there's a waterfall on the way, so we'd have to climb up rocks with horses.
We have climbing gear. Oh yes. the
or
horses. Poor little burrito. With such a fine steed. I shed a solemn tear.
And Reed just pauses for a second. He says, "To be fair, Burrito died one death. Bucephalus has died at least twice so far."
Is that the name you've given your horse? Thing.
I didn't
Being.
think this was news to you.
A lot of things are news to me these days.
But yes, I have named my horse Bucephalus.
I'm learning a lot about you. I'm worried. Let's leave it at that.
Reed just kind of looks at Jatan before shaking his head, and then seeks to find a place of pigeon post. See, I can alliterate too.
Okay, you know from... Let's go back to the city map. From talking with your companions the night before that there was a male... Dratan knew of the male house that was down the way.
Yeah, there was a dude there.
So you
Wonderful.
head down there, you send your note. If you will transcribe it to me, that'd be perfect. And you pay your fee. It's a gold piece for each letter. And Dratan, are you going back to the inn? Do you have another errand to run?
I do have one other errand to run. And I'm probably gonna follow the twins. Which I'm referring to them as, even though they're not.
The elven twins, the brothers from another mother.
Basically, I'm basically following them to the library.
Okay. All right, you guys head to the library.
Yay!
Dratan, you knew where it was, and you sort of lead them there.
Yeah.
You go, and there's a healthy amount of traffic, going in and out. There's a few people going in, and one person coming out as you're going in. As you enter, you see a front desk, and you enter the doors, and there's a small lobby, and there's a front desk with two monks that are stationed there. There's a door off to the right and a door off to the left. Most of the traffic that has gone in speaks quickly with the monk on the left and goes to the door on the left. There's no traffic going to the right, and those doors look stout and sort of fancier. And yeah, the monks don't really take notice to you as you enter. They're looking down on their desks.
They must see
Where are
me,
we?
man. I'm down here.
What's the question, Kai?
Where are we? I just lost
The city library right here.
Oh, yes. And what are we doing there? It's just me and Sai.
No, I'm
Alyssa
not.
or...
Dratan
cool.
is with us.
Yeah, I tagged along.
Cool.
By the way, I have been. I want to do a quick check. I want to see if I can sneak a couple of daggers behind their ears real quick.
God damn! How?
Make
No.
a sleight of hand check.
All right,
And
two or just one?
the elves make a perception check. Or no, you don't have to, because if he's trying to do it secretly, I'll just do your passive.
All right, so I do two or just one?
Do two. Do the first one, and if you succeed, then you can do the second.
All right.
God.
22.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Oh my god!
That just happened. That just happened.
Next one.
You sneakily sort of point to something over on the far wall and slide a dagger very secretly into Elisar's helmet that he's got on.
All right, number 2. 21.
Oh my goodness!
That just happened. Oh, boy.
And you quickly sort of spin around and put another one right into right in Kai's hair that's pulled tight behind his head.
I beam with pride before I go over to this small desk and go, "Hello, sir,
Oh, boy.
sir." As I reach over the top of it.
The monk looks up and sort of looks down his nose. He looks up and sees the elves, and then looks down his nose at you, and in a very quiet whisper, he says, "What can I do for you?"
Oh, forgot. Library, quiet. Apologies.
Yes.
What are you two here for? I
Kyle
say as I
asked me
turn
to
around
come
and
with
look at
him.
I'm looking for materials on mind control and the revered sorcerers that may know it about it. Any kind of information or knowledge that I can gather.
not level 6? I made a mistake.
The monk whispers. He says, "Would you like access to the public files or to the elder's personal library?"
I'm assuming the Elder's personal library costs money.
They both require a fee, but yes, the elder's personal library would require a signed endorsement from one of the city elders, as well as a nominal fee.
I don't think we have a signed thingy.
All right, well then it will be 1 gold piece for the day to be into the public files.
I just want you to
And he
know, for a second
holds out
there,
his hand.
you channeled Caboose. That was amazing.
And the monk holds out his hand sort of expectantly.
I give like 2
Is one
looks.
of us paying for all of us?
I look at both of you and just sigh and like I'll do the flick of a coin and like toss it onto the desk before realizing what's happening and put my hand right underneath it right before it lands and then gently putting it down.
Okay, so you toss just a single coin?
Yeah.
Okay. The
Actually,
monk takes it and gives you a little a little ticket of paper, and holds out his hand to Kai and Elisar.
I'll give him a gold coin.
Okay, and he does the same.
Hurry up, cheapskates! And I walk into the library.
Okay.
You are having some issues.
Yeah, Rip Kai.
Rip.
Why is it always that Kai has issues with Discord? I've never had these like insane issues that other people do.
It could
I
just be
feel left
distance or time of the day for him.
Could also be gremlins, I mean.
Yep, that's what it is.
Once he gets it all straightened out, we can move on. So what are you two looking for?
I was
Oh,
just
yes.
following Kai.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You pay
yes.
and then walk in after him. Like, okay, I guess I'm following. He'll be inside soon enough.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
here. I'm here.
Okay.
What was it after public information and
Yeah,
we
there
won't
was,
be able to get the
there's the public file, which was 1 gold piece for the entire day, and then the elders library. The elders, is that what I called it? The elders library.
You call
That,
it
the
the
elders.
Elder's Library.
Yeah, they requires an endorsement from one of the city elders.
let's just check out the public library right now.
Okay, and it's
We have-
1 gold piece for the ticket.
Okay.
Okay, you guys enter the library. You go through the doors on the left-hand side and see the long rows, long wooden bookshelves, rows of wooden bookshelves, and there's various scrolls and manuscripts and leather-bound books on it. There's desks interspersed among the bookshelves with people at it or books laid out. Doesn't really seem to be too many helpers in here. There are a few that are walking around seeming to lead other people, but nobody approaches you or anything.
All right, guys. We are looking for anything about mind control or
No, you're looking for that. And I walk away.
What?
So why
What a
are you here
dick.
for? Why are you here for then?
I'm here for something completely different.
Okay. All right, LSR.
I followed you. I guess I'll just look for it as well then.
Oh boy.
Nice. Okay. You guys search. What are you looking for, Dratan?
I am looking for anything that I can find on eldritch horrors or otherwise forbidden knowledge, if I can find any of it, because I have had some interesting incidents happen to me in the past week that I don't understand. I now have
Okay.
powers that I didn't know any person could have,
Nice.
and I have no idea where they're coming from, and I fear that I might have something inside me. I don't know. I'm freaking out. Just keeping it quiet about it. Internally screaming and all that. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, you guys. You search for a few. Quite a bit. Dratan, you come up with a few manuscripts. And Kai, because you've got Elisar helping you, you guys come up with a few more. Kai, you finally come up with books. The first one's called The Lost Primers of Esoteric Runes. It seems to have a focus specifically with mind control and sort of out-of-body type experiences. Next is The Ancient Tales of Win Halleth's Wilderness. Win Halleth was an ancient sorcerer proficient in mind control or sort of not necessarily possession, but summoning. And then there's Mag's Boundless Vad Mecum. And that one seems to be the personal handbook of a prominent sorcerer who specialized in controlling spirits and different denizens of different planes and whatnot. And then the last that sort of caught your eye as you were filing out was Books of the Celestial. Dratan, you found the bad transcription of Eldritch Golden Witchcraft. It seems to be one that is contradicts itself almost every other page, but seems to have it's sort of drawn. You're drawn to it as it seems. Every once in a while, you get this feeling of enlightenment, as it's sort of trying to suck the knowledge from it. The last book that you found was the Inscrutable Manuscripts of Aberrant Astrology, and it seemed to speak of denizens of different planes that would visit the material plane, and sort of a primer on that. So you find as you guys sort of have these stacks of books and you plump them down and attempt to walk out the door. One of the monks hurries and approaches you and indicates you're not allowed to take them out of the library.
Do we need a library card? Is there something here?
No, you're not allowed to take them. These desks are for you to transcribe important pieces, or you may stay here and study them, but you're not allowed to remove them.
Okay.
Well, that is
I was gonna ask if there was a librarian or some sort that I could have asked if they had books on this matter.
They're merely monks. As you were searching yourself, you noticed that the monks themselves transcribed these into different languages, and it seems that each monk sort of has his own separate wing that's not necessarily divided compared to the other monks. It's not like each monk has a separate section of categories or anything. They each just have a random selection of books that they're responsible for, and so each section is organized differently. And so it made it quite confusing to try and go throughout the entire library, but you were able to find these 6 books that you pulled down.
Is there no way that I can convince you that I will return these as soon as I'm done with them? I will be only taking them for the night.
Depending on the book, you may purchase the book, but I must warn you that it would be quite expensive. These books are for public knowledge, and our monks have spent quite a bit transcribing them to the different languages.
Yes, and you will get them back as soon as I finish reading them over for the rest of the night.
I'm afraid I'm afraid you cannot remove them unless you purchase them.
This guy is not taking my persuasion stuff at all. Kind of saddened me. 1 second.
Oh, my friend returned. If you could just stay here for a while. You know?
Okay. You're just going to hang out and read them?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Nai, you are done with your letter?
Yep.
Apparently, this monk just
Magus Valkayam. Is that the book?
What was that?
What's that last book you told me? Magus.
Magus Boundless Vadmeet. Here, I'll post these so you guys can. These are.
I was very sad. I wanted to try out my +9 to persuasion.
And those last two were
go to like
Drattan's.
every book and quickly.
Well, I guess for the time being, I'm just gonna read what I can.
So Drattan, I apologize. You're saying you wanted to try and.
I was trying to persuade him that I would be returning that I would take the books, but then I would immediately return them once I was done reading them over the night.
I see. It is a standing policy for the monks to not let the books out. You can attempt to persuade. It would be quite difficult because you would pretty much be asking this monk to personally put his status online on the line here.
Oh, never mind then. I don't want to ruin this man's life.
And you don't quite know him, so he's already starting out at sort of a distrustful stance.
I apologize, sir. I guess
Which
I
means-
misunderstood what would be on the line here.
You probably
will
need
simply-
25.
I don't care. Hush it. I will retract my attempts and simply enjoy the library.
All right. So you guys settle down for a long study session, reading through your books.
So how much insanity do I suffer from reading these raving imaginary writings?
we'll get to that. Nai, I just sort of out of character here, I guess, out of DM character. I've got about 10 more minutes, and then I'm planning on being done with the session. So I do have an encounter planned, but that will probably have to wait till next time. So Nai, what were you going to do after your mail?
Probably just head back to the inn. He has no idea where the others went, and he still hasn't had breakfast.
Oh, okay. You didn't even eat. You just headed out.
Yeah, he had a.
Fucking starving.
He knows the type of crap that his team is likely to get in. So unfortunately, armor trumps food in the beginning of the day.
Okay.
So yes,
All right.
now he's gonna go back and get something to eat. I know, entirely
'cause
boring session for Reed. He didn't do anything.
It's about mid-morning, and those guys are now bunkered down in the library. And okay, so you head back to the inn, and you settle in, and Zixo is there and sort of in a zombie state. It seems he's a little rough for the wear from the previous evening. He hasn't even come out of his comatose sleepwalking type attitude.
Reed's
He's
totally
just
gonna order him coffee.
mechanically eating. And so yeah, you sit down, you order from the innkeeper. Yeah, by the way, your guys' food is let's see here. What is your food? You guys who ate. What did we
Better be
have?
something good.
What did we have for food this morning?
Oh, I did say I was stuffing my
What
face with
page
bread
is
or
that on?
something.
I know what page that's on.
Yeah, but bread's in like every single thing.
You guys had for breakfast there was some elven bread. So that was 8 silver
Yay.
pieces. And there was a nice little fruit bowl there as well from some of the last of the harvest. sort of shriveled pieces of fruit, but it still tasted sweet and good. So,
I did not eat shriveled pieces of fruit.
okay. Breakfast was about 10 silver pieces, though. So,
Okay.
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 let's see. What was I gonna say? Oh, Nye, as you're there eating, and
That's a really good breakfast. Wow.
those guys who are in the library. Now you're sitting there eating. As you are eating, you hear the door open, and in the door, you notice the assistant of the Lord Regional Commander that you had met the previous day. He looks around the room, sees you, and approaches you and Zixo, and sort of looks at both of you, and he asks, "Where are your party mates?"
Reed looks up, then, like a good little boy, finishes chewing, swallows, and without food in his mouth, thank you, elves, responds with, "I am not quite sure. We all split up to perform various errands, and appears I'm the first one back."
Well, no matter. Commander Ribura would like to notify you of recent happenings he has become aware of. Would you be able to meet with him sometime this afternoon?
Reed pauses for a second and says, "Well, I'm sure we could. But if I can guess what they are ahead of time, would that help?"
Guess what Commander Ribura needs to talk to you about? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
You may guess. I have no knowledge. He simply asked me to come and gather you. He has something to tell you. He has not deemed to tell me either, and he gets an annoyed look on his face.
Reed lets out a heavy sigh, then nods, and makes his way over to the innkeeper, and asks her to send a runner up to the fort if any pigeon mail comes in for him.
Okay. And she says, "Oh, dearie, of course."
And with that, Reed kind of nods, says, "I'm not quite sure where the rest of my party is, though. Would you like to wait for them, or should we just head on up?"
I believe the Lord Commander would like you all to be present.
In that case, I will finish my breakfast. And back goes Reed to finish eating.
Okay.
I will not be someone's present.
And he leaves with the last word to say, when you've found your companions, please come to the fort. I will be waiting to escort you to the commander.
Reed nods his acknowledgement.
Okay. And with that, he leaves. And I think this is a good stopping point, since you guys are going to do some research and Nai is going to finish eating. And so I think we're done for the night, guys.
Yeah.
Food.
We'll stop it right there.
Awesome.
I wasn't planning on all 100% RP, but you guys moved slow enough around the city that it happened. So
Dude, I really like 100% RP sometimes because then we get a lot of stuff.
good.
I just want to know if we should actually see if we should get another person, considering we're like missing now.
Yeah, it's a little odd without James. With James, there's 5, which is a decent party size.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Adric, is his name Ryan? Is it Ryan?
I think that's about right.
Whatever
Yeah,
Adric. I think he's coming back in September or something,
Yeah,
or
it's like August, September.
So
I mean, to keep in mind the thing that we are missing, so we're in RPG terms, we're missing a tank, but he's an off tank because Reed's the main tank. We're missing a main healer, but Reed has heals, so does Psycho.
Yep.
And and Kai has a heal of some sort. Saf has a heal of some sort.
We're fine on healing. No need for heals in terms of RPG min-maxing party.
I mean, so in terms of party makeup, we're not actually missing anything. The only thing is we're missing James, who's generally a guiding force for getting shit done, and the rest of us fuck around a lot.
I mean,
Yeah, James.
To be fair.
All right. To be fair, we can do that.
James would not have
eventually.
allowed me to spend 10 minutes getting simple supplies.
I would have. I'm completely fine with that though, because that's what you would do.
Yeah. Well,
It's
part
not
of
always about combat and stuff. It's about the experience, and that was fine.
yeah.
My only
And
thing
we
is
may or
that
may not have gotten plot hooks. I mean, we got stuff.
my main only thing is that there's usually a group dynamic that exists between the levels of 5 and 6, where that you can actually have these split ups of party members and not have to deal with this like defining group to people. Not only that, but it adds a lot. It still adds more variety to the people there, and I think it's still measurable. It doesn't get out of hand. And if James is not gonna come back, which we don't even know yet, he might not have just. It might be that he just had stuff to do tonight
He
and
might
couldn't
have
get back to
forgotten,
the computer.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't even respond to Hockey's hype message, so he might have forgotten.
So yeah, but but in the case that he's not here, I would much rather get another person to fill in that role and have another person to interact with.
Well, and probably poke him and make that decision in the next 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
He'll come on.
Stop booping the microphone. Stop that.
And with that in mind, I need to go to bed because I got work in the morning.
All right, brother. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Alright,
Thank
see ya.
y'all.
Night okay.
We'll do more, lazy stuff in 2 weeks, and next week things happen. So please be here. Things happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Planned
Nye,
things.
are you going to find another person to fill in that spot while while Ryan's gone?
I mean, we again just talking about party dynamics. You guys don't really need anybody if everybody shows up. So
Yeah, that's the problem. It's just that not everyone can show up every week, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't plan on it, but I can.
I mean, Kai hasn't even gotten to come to a session though.
That is also true.
Yeah, I haven't started into that campaign of mine. Yes, I could do that.
I mean, even without
possible.
Kai, and I want Kai to be there if we can. Even without Kai, we have Saf, Psycho, Hockey, and James. So we do have a 4-person party even without Kai. And if Kai comes in, we do have a 5-person party. So, hadn't planned on it, but if I need to, I can look. I'm sure we can...
Okay.
Of, the 500 people we have in this Discord server, I'm pretty sure we can find someone within,
If you need a reference, I can help spur some people along.
Yeah.
I know quite a few players that I've actually enjoyed DMing for.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm fairly certain we can find someone, so I'm not too worried about it. Now that being said, because we're all sitting under one roof right now, do we need to change the date of that? Because I know that was a question that we were asking of this game.
Yes.
Right now it's every other week at the current time. Do we need to change that?
Yep.
I can go for earlier if you guys want.
I don't have any restrictions on my time. It's just work might come into play where I have to either jump off early or I show up late.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that comes up. Other than that, you guys can have free reign on this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm afraid I can't only give weekends,
Okay.
Fridays, Saturdays.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, generally I can do
my
Friday.
time is very flexible currently. I can go 6 hours back or 6 hours forward or... Yeah.
Hockey, any preference for you?
No, I mean, evenings after I put my kids to bed is best for me. So after 9 is probably the best. 9 Mountain Time. I don't know how that works with you guys, but any day is normally okay if it's that late, since we're usually home. If there's something that comes up, I can usually know beforehand. So
And as for me, if we're sticking to
Yeah, that's the thing. I can start before the time we are starting right now. It's the most Goldilocks time for me. After this, you can have any time. But that's not feasible for you guys. So
I mean, I can do pretty much. I can easily do Friday, and I can do most Saturdays, but at least one